really good initial pick themselves with the Ashe Braum and the Lilia, but I feel like their combo is harder to play around. Because they don't have a gold card for one, and also it does feel like that Sejuani adds an extra degree of ease of access for OMG
in terms of where they are in the lane.
So now OMG, they've used their early wards, and you can see it's a huge crash in. They do get themselves level 2, but they've taken some decent damage. They have some pots left, so it's not going to be the end of things. This could be quite a risky dive, but they do only have the one combat summoner in that ignite. They don't have a heal or a barrier or something like that, because of course Starry's running that teleport. Just use the satchel too. Long cooldown, they have one cooldown left for him.
Right, Niket takes the initial aggro. PP God Chug low, goes down as the watch RP claims him. Niket low but not down. Hacker takes another turret shot. Do they want Starry as well? He's in danger. Shield comes up. Braum takes the aggro. Sorry, I make that doggo. And they just about get the last auto. Goes down, comes at the cost of Hacker's life, but they do kill off the Ziggs.
And he gets himself that Ruby Crystal. If you're going back to base without that Faded Ashes, then this would have been failed from Hacker. Opposite side of the map, Tianjin looking towards Xingtian.
Tricks Club just bought for the Ashe, but you're absolutely right. This dive is happening. Is Xingtian flashes away, stays alive. Xingtian has to flash, but the card still comes on through. Turret shot, not quite enough.
It had cooled down at that point. It hadn't ramped up because it switched back onto the minions, so Harry doesn't get the full damage. That Starry will be able to kind of wave the kind of for forever if they allow him to. Wave's kind of pushing out.
No teleport.
He might have gone too far here, yeah.
No flash, no teleport. I think as the start of the engine's coming on down, but it might be too little too late. We'll finally get a bit of a CC down with the Hacker who's in danger, but they do get that Blooming Blows kill. Hacker gets the watch out, eat down, but it's not enough to keep alive. The Braum passive is ticking onto Tianjin, but nothing more. Can maybe look to step on forwards, but it's 2 tanks into a Braum. I don't know whether they're going to do this. They're still going to keep going on forwards. They have enough damage for now. Shield comes up. PP got in danger. Galactic Assault forward will not get a passive proc until just now. Doggo trying to get the additional trades onto Tianjin, but double red buffs was enough. Stay alive. Will be forced to back away from this one, but now PP God can maybe look towards the mid lane and a dive onto Uakai. Will Valkyrie away, flash under the tier 2, but there's a culling coming on through and he's just dead to rights.
Angel with his first kill of the game, and OMG, they have relied on him to do a lot of carrying. Both of these supports, both these junglers all over the map. It's been really fun to watch both of these jungle support duos really try and make a break out of the gates very, very early on. I'm struggling to think who's really gotten ahead in terms of all the strategic objectives. You can see that, of course, the TF is expected to be ahead. I think bot lane being even is a real win for OMG. I think that, you know, the Ashe Braum does really want to be ahead. They are barely, if that. They're going to, again, try it again. They have level 6 on the Lilia. There is an Ignite on PP God, though.
PP God eats a Braum passive. Could still be in danger here. Trying to get a bit more. The arrow afterwards. Finally, PP God steps on forwards, but it's not until anyone who's taken aggro. Hacker taken low, but they'll get on out of there, and they do get the dive off.
Yeah, I wonder whether they could have procced the Braum passive and then kind of flashed out with Doggo to make that easier, but they end up committing the Ashe arrow. Necessarily be as much of that. Starry's on the top side of the map too. He also has teleport if he wants to stick around for a wave and get himself to the first item potentially after that point. Doggo doesn't quite have the shiv yet. Xingtian's running out of Mega. Nah, might be able to get a good trade here.
Does get a solid chunk. Gets a big one into the wall as well. Remember, hurry, no flash and no ghost. Could well get run down here. Needs to get that gold card locked now, and old Xingtian just flashes against the boomerang.
Ultra Pime's first a winner of a Player of the Week award for 2 years, walks away with a solo kill, and an important time. He can teleport back into the play. Xingtian, best top laner of the last week, makes a difference, and now suddenly that means that Harry can't control Xingtian in that side lane. Ultra Prime walk away with 6 grubs off of this, and OMG, Harry, you gotta do better there. You had no summons. The Starry's now just got hit.
Oh, and there's gonna be on the wrong side of the satchel. Has to flash on out from it. Can't use it to escape. And they get another summoner.
Impactful, kind of clearing out waves and getting to the play a little quicker. Because of that, Doggo continually, relentlessly pushing in. 6 grubs, first turret.
Also, when you're into a TF and a Ziggs with teleport, having the additional shove power, I completely get. Makes so much sense to me. So they get that first turret, they turn over towards the dragon, they want to fight this, but so honestly to OMG, they're in the river and can make some things happen. Tianjin throws out the ultimate. Hacker, jumped on, trying to get away, just about out to safety. For now, the Mega Inferno Bomb claims the kill though. Health bars desperately low on OMG though. As the CC begins to land, they are being put on ice. What is that? Zenith Blade. Doggo goes down. In the backline, Xingtian is in a 1v3 as a Mega Gnar. Can't kill off the Sejuani. Is being run down by Harry. Uakai on full HP. Everyone has to back away as a bloodbath has occurred.
Yeah, Hacker, I think, really overestimated his own tankiness. This is the problem with the Lilia before you get the Zonyas. You can get kind of soloed out, and Hacker, I think, realizing he's just not as tanky as he would like to. OMG are going to get themselves a good amount of kills off this, and they're going to get themselves the dragon. Because Ultra Prime also committed so many people to the play, they don't get a cross map. Qingtian goes right into the backline. He tries to get on top of Starry, but I don't think he quite realizes that no help is coming because Ultra Prime have lost.
Surely be able to finally claim this outer turret, as Qingtian did need to pull away from the turret under threat of a dive. All the while, though, there's a big old shove happening topside.
And also what's been happening is, because Qingtian has been hovering around bot lane outer turret to allow Harry to take it, they put him under that mid lane turret again, and they take the river control, but there's every chance they get engaged on.
Missed the glacial prison there. Hacker, watch out, eats away. The slow is solid, but the glacial fissure afterwards buys so much time. Niket might go down, but the turnaround is monstrous. That lilting lullaby gets everybody. They're all put into the long sleep of death. Tianjin will try and get Hacker, but goes down himself. The minefield just short of getting Hacker.
Niket has the best Braum combo possible to him, where everyone throws everything into the shield, he gets his passive turnaround, and he saves his teammates. Braum dies a happy support in that one, because he's the only one that goes down as OMG look for their big engage. It's going to be a dragon. Harry's going to come through. He might just die for this, though, going on to Hacker.
Takes a lot of damage back, flashes away, and the last order comes on through as Yukai trying to get onto Star, who's in danger. Boomerang goes and claims an extra auto to allow Yukai to claim that kill too. Huge fight for Ultra Prime.
Ultra Prime. Where has this team been for all of the rest of Rumble stage?
Oh,
Doggo might have just got caught out though. Niket is here. There is a flash. This is teleport from who? It's Angel.
Bow passive comes on down, and I think he's falling. Loses his wings in the mid-tier one.
Yeah, call him Lucifer. That's a fallen Angel at this point. 1, 3, and 2. The mid laner for OMG, who has so typically been their best player, throws another kill to Ultra Prime, and now it might have even opened up a Baron angle. They're teleporting in. There is no Angel. Starry has teleport. Harry is coming up too, but they're not here right now. This might be a Baron start.
Harry has no Destiny Gate and no teleport, of course, because he's the TF. They're not going to be here. It'll be a 3v5. They're going to try and teleport in to make something happen, and there was an interrupt on it. Big Megador into the wall, onto the Sejuani, trying to keep them all alive, but PP God finds himself more flaccid in this game than he was hoping for as Doggo gets away just about alive, but now Harry is here. Maybe with the wild chords could cause some trouble. Tianjin survive somehow, some way. 1,000 gold down. They've not got soul point because, of course, that dragon fight went so very wrong, and the double AD carries being this far ahead gets very difficult. Honestly, the Lilia as well is becoming increasingly annoying as that third part of the threat team. Tianjin steps on forwards. Maybe they found a moment. There's 2 people isolated. Massive combo. Niket's going to go down as well, and Ultra Prime stepping forwards to get vision, just get collapsed on with every member.
And this is why we were saying they could just get stalled out. Qingtian doesn't have his Mega. He's probably going to go down before he gets that one. Ultra Prime lose 3, and they might end up losing the Baron off of this. This was the problem. The easy part to accelerate had happened, and now suddenly it's just Yukai and Doggo. They have an arrow, but realistically, they're not going to get anything off of that. OMG pounce and Ultra Prime. They should have known this was coming. That was a risky push forward into the jungle.
I mean, I just don't understand what happened there. They go forwards, and Lilia still had the Zhonya's, decides not to use it either, but...
Well, he might not have been able to. We'll see. Might not have been able to. If he got hit by the stuns, he could have got perma-CC'd. Has those smoke treads, and suddenly OMG, they get themselves that Baron, they get themselves probably a side lane turret here as well. Ultra Prime, this is a wake-up call. You can't just do what you did earlier in the game. Much harder to accelerate when you have to go into the enemy jungle against the Ziggs combo. Result comes back up though, so Ultra Prime, they might just get themselves onto the dragon for free. They still have Hacker with that flash, Zhonya's, and ultimate. They couldn't force it out of him because they killed him too quickly in that last one. Doggo, what is Doggo doing?
Oh no, flashes over the wall. Thought he was safe because there's a control ward and he's about to fall down. The slow comes on through. Angel's still chasing him. Will go down. The dragon secured by Ultra Prime as they didn't have their mid lane around to start fighting it, but now maybe from the flank Angle starts to come on in. Doesn't have the culling available as Harry will look to ultimate in onto someone. Hacker down to about 20% HP. They're being corralled. Oh, Ultra Prime. The Ziggs ult onto 3. Qingtian went looking for a big old ult. Hacker gets into the backline. Shoots ulting lullaby. Yukai will kill off the TF. Continue to try and jump away. The passive comes on through from the Sejuani, but it's cleansed away with that QSS. Ultra Prime claim 1 on the way out and do get the dragon.
We had a conversation earlier. Doggo has most gold in the game from the early game. He needs to pay back on that investment. He just doesn't. He gets caught out on a really dangerous path back towards his team. and he ends up getting caught out. He ends up has gotten even harder again, because you have to respect that even more. They're not in a position to wave play this again. That'll go down to the Zig Satchel beyond this point. OMG will finally claim that prize, and Ultra Prime will have to play from back within their own jungle again, pushing in the bot lane. Has the 6 grubs. He'll need to teleport in, though. This is getting a little bit late. He needs to come in. The Baron's really helping.
The arrow landed on the Starry. It's huge. That means the Zig's got nowhere to go. Finally flashes out to safety, but it's burned out. There's now a massive stun onto the Sejuani. Smite down. Zig's down.
MVP of that fight is not the Baron, it is the territorial Baron, because it pulls everyone in with its little grasping hands and puts Starry into the Swirl Seed, into the arrow. Ultra Prime get the fight, and they're back in the game. They have the Baron, they have the Dragon.
I mean, he got dragged back into an arrow. You really can't expect it. Poor old Starry. But here we are, back into the real world and live. Xingtian is shoving for the rest of the team, about to get jumped on, has the Solar Flare dropped on top of him. Huge combo, survives for a while, but not long enough, and this is the problem of splitting the team again.
Yeah, and I think that just Xingtian just ended up not using his flash very effectively. There is, of course, the Baron buff, and you have the 6 grubs trying to stop... Niket's trying to stop them from going towards the turret.
No, trying to stop that. Tianjin gets chunked. Angel gets a culling across, but it's into the door. So not that much value. They are a member down, but OMG now in danger of stepping too far forward. Brawn passive comes on through. Blooming Blow slows are there. Hacker stepped on forwards, got stunned there by a satchel into the wall.
They do have the advantage in terms of readily available combat spells. Yokai he has Flash SW. He's just way too far away from his team again. Man.
Ultra Prime, what is going on? Tianjin has a flash and an ability for some teleports to come flying on through. They just can't play side lanes, apparently, Ultra Prime.
This team has just been splitting apart. They get themselves into the top lane in a turret, but they should have had someone protecting Yuka. He's been safe for so long. Now OMG have used a lot of their teleports. Xingtian could teleport to them as well. If someone needs to put down a wall, though, and he needs to come here soon if they think a fight's going to erupt. Solar Flare is back up and available.
Potentially dangerous here. Get that slow teleport behind. We're trying to get to Mega Gnar. That's why he was delaying. Comes in with Mega available, but it's Solar Flare. The wallop comes on through. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb, but the Brawn passive comes on down and PP God dies. Now Starry's in danger. Remember, still no flash. Needs to be afraid as the gold card with the rapid fire buys some space, but Starry dodge, dips, ducks, doves, and dies. And he will fall in that top lane.
So OMG, they do a good job of splitting apart Ultra Prime. Really well played from Tianjin and PP God and Harry to pick off people. But then they overchase towards the end. And the problem is, when you overchase and you die towards 6 grubs and the remainder of that Baron buff, things fall apart beyond that point. Ultra Prime might just be looking for the end.
Angel and Harry here alone. They've got to try and get through this wave. They get hit with the Swirl Seed. There might be a lilting lullaby popping on him, and he is put to sleep. Tower number 1 falls in front of the Nexus. They turn back to a second inhibitor and will not end the game, but have done critical base damage.
Yeah, Ultra Prime, they've been sat in positions before. They've had open Nexuses and not been able to finish off the game. Shout out to that Anyone's Legend series.
It's getting increasingly hard to get those snap picks.
Doggo shouldn't be here again.
How is he there?
Why is he positioning like this? Angel got a little bit, he's going to be fine towards there. So they pull the TF out, they can't find anything. So Doggo, his dangerous pathing not really presenting much of an issue this time. OMG,
down.
They might just go for the engage.
They're only getting a chunk onto Hacker. Solar Flare afterwards with the Mega Inferno Bond. Hacker finally goes golden. Glacial Vision comes on down as Xingtian. Autos Angel down to nearly his entire HP bar. The Gnar winning out against Lucian, who will cleanse and flash away. But Starry comes falling out of the skies, more like a meteor. Quadra kill to Doggo. Out of nowhere, they're hunting for a penta. Do they want to wait on it? I think they might just want to win the game.
Well, the thing is, I think that Angel's got to get himself back to base. The tower's fallen. Ultra Prime, they have won the game, but will they get themselves the extra medallion? No, they will not. But OMG, the undefeated in-series team in Grip Nevada slapped in the face by a resurging Ultra Prime. They arguably have 3 winning lanes. Ultra Prime, they will need to overperform in one of these lanes to give Hacker a better platform to play the early game in.
Will be an interesting question. I feel like bot lane at least can be a contest. Zeri has some ability to play the wave safely enough. Taking the teleport, Tianjin taking the dragon. Harry knowing he's on weak side, so there's no point burning the teleport right now. It'll be a bit of a risk. Xingtian instead teleports towards that bot lane to clear out this wave. Okay, I wonder whether Hacker will throw down as well. Just being as obnoxious as possible. Harry nearly at Mega Gnar. We might be looking at another 3v3 as they need to be careful with this wall here. Flash for the Heifer prevents the Mega Gnar from getting anybody into the wall. Hacker gets a lilting lullaby off. Crunch comes on through. Huge damage back. Hacker getting Conqueror healing. Is so much value. Tianjin will get 1 back at least.
You can nerf the passive healing from the Lillian, but you can't nerf Hacker. those real upstart kind of stories to them. OMG, they do have themselves some ability to play towards this. First grab goes over towards Ultra Prime, and that's going to be their first of this set, and that's going to be the smite used from Hacker. So they're not going to be able to contest for anything more. I think that's probably wise. They get themselves what they can, and they don't leave themselves open to an engage where Starry could have followed up on.
Yeah, they'll get the might buff, which is an important breakpoint. It's not the 6 from last game, but in some ways they'll take what they can get. It's still a good amount of shoving power. And OMG will be there in enough force to prevent any easy access. They did manage to force Ultra Prime into some interesting contests around that dragon in the mid stages, and see whether they can do that again here. Enough to do it bluntly, so that makes some sense. Maybe Doggo could have done it on wall ride now, but I think with the Hex gates around, it actually gets quite tricky because you take the wall ride and suddenly there's people who portal behind you. You don't have that ability up anymore. Tianzhen needs to be a little wary. Gets her butt pulverized. Angel coming on down. Doggo gets hit with the Q, and the big ol' ultimate from Tianzhen will keep him frozen in place. Turnaround damage is monstrous, but Starry gets to press R and join the fight.
Whether Tianzhen just mind-gamed him out of that one. Now it's onto the Herald. They don't have that flash ult on Tianzhen.
Yeah, and Doggo was thinking, I can play this one out. I've got flash, I should be fine. Nope, does not get body blocked in the way he was hoping for. And that looks a bit different. Hacker comes over with the lulting loco, but Lullaby and Doggo is alive. The Herald gets secured regardless, and the game remains very even indeed from the opponent as you can.
Yeah, especially if it's Cannon, it definitely helps him out.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to use that last auto attack. The last minion dies. Angel perfectly killing the wave under tower. Qingtian on weak side. Weirdly, he's pushed up a little too far. I think he might have gone a little too far here.
Harry gets a big Mega on the wall, and Qingtian will flash over the wall, but unfortunately, there's people there to respond.
So, Ultra Prime, so they're weak side on top side, and they're weak side on bot side. Pushing. Yuakai's pushing up towards his top tower. Hacker's farming in his own jungle, so he's not there. It's even a tower trade here. So, once again, Ultra Prime just losing the plot, pushing up too far. This has not been an isolated situation. They've done this multiple times. What's happening with this Herald? Dragon spawning right now. OMG could just take that through. Qingtian potentially trying to defend Doggo.
They're going to jump onto Qingtian, who doesn't really get to press W2 just now. Can maybe footwork later, but there's nothing left.
Didn't have it.
And he goes down.
Presumably he didn't have it. Didn't use it. Ultra Prime, once again, failing on the split match is real advantage Tianzhen and PP got in the jungle support matchup, where I think in the last game, Hacker and Niket were the ones that came ahead in that one. And, you know, we praised Ultra Prime for their form in that last game, in the last series or two. And a lot of that has come through Hacker and Niket. They are the reason why this team has been a lot better than we thought they would be before. In as well, so that's one summoner down. Niket doesn't have that Warmog. That's one of the big things. Tianzhen, no ultimate, but no Alistar ultimate is arguably more important. Niket not going to get any value out of this. This would be Soul. Ultra Prime, they're slow to the fight. Niket has no HP. That's Hex Soul.
It's over. Hacker flashes on forwards, goes golden, gets no value by the blooming blow, and Starry murders Doggo before he can even begin to think about pressing Q a few more times. OMG will make sure that this is a swift old game in their favor.
Yeah, OMG, they punish the overextensions early, they stack the dragons, they get the gold, and Ultra Prime are effectively shut out of the game from that point. OMG, there is a reason that they are at 4-0. They have improved an awful lot in terms of their macro. They've improved an awful lot at pulling the trigger effectively. Ultra Prime, they will be probably clutching their heads in hands after this game. This was in their hands for a brief moment, and they kind of threw it away.
The way back in, it's for OMG to hand it to them. And I don't think with this composition, with the way they've been playing the game, that's likely to happen. Still no Warmogs from the Cat, who has not been involved in enough stuff this game to get a hold of it. And I think he spent a lot of money on things like wards to try and maintain control, so just hasn't got that completed item.
Yeah, so, Ultra Prime, they get themselves, I don't know, into their defensive posture now.
I feel like the waves haven't been synced that well, because they're ping-ponging between the two waves rather than having them crash simultaneously, which of course is one of those skill sets you like to try and make happen in League of Legends, but they still managed to get through that inhibitor turret nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, you're forcing Ultra Prime to ping-pong, and they are only first to the turret each time, so it's not bad. They end up chunking out each of the towers in each of these waves. As long as you're getting damage on the towers, it's fine. So in this case, I don't mind it at all. Sometimes when there's a lot of wave play, yes, you want the waves to be crashing at once because they can't wave play both at once, especially when you have stuff like Ziggs or the like. It's a little bit harder here, even with the Zeri with the shift. God damn, the W poke is nasty. Of course, these Hextech Dragons give you some extra ability haste too, so it makes it even quicker to get that W off the cooldown. Ultra Prime, they threw away the shot in this game. OMG very much picked up the slack, and OMG they're running them through. This is very textbook League of Legends.
And they've got a Hex Soul to work with as well. That is just by far the strongest soul, I think, by everybody's margin. So annoying to
manage.
That's
a great ult.
Finds a wonderful bit of trigonometry to get the ult onto target. Niket trying to frontline, but again, that Alistar is just a bit anemic this game. Nothing left for him to say in this one. A decent W from GTM buys some time, but it's just not enough. They go a little deep here to OMG, and they decide they will not stick around for any longer.
Right.
Oh,
that's exactly what happens.
Oh no! Glacier Prison just shy. Will not be able to land on Yukai, but was forced to back away from the turret, and despite the Baron buff not being there, the siege is enough to claim that one.
That hacker gets himself a flash into the play. Even with that, I wonder if they just lose the fight anyway. 3,000 gold lead in mid lane, 2.5 in top lane, 2k in AD carry. So OMG have so much extra damage. You can see that Ultra Prime, they're going to get themselves trying at least some extra vision into their own jungle to try and give themselves an entrance towards that that Elder Dragon pit. Hacker, you can maybe try and stack up Q. He's walking in right now over vision. You can see that he's spotting out Angel and PP God. We've got ourselves a start of that Elder Dragon very, very soon in 10 seconds. OMG trying to defend the approach.
They are. Can look for a little bit more dodge as Doggo slides away from that W. Starry having a much better showing on the Kaiser than his historical record would suggest. Maybe they can force more of a contest. Here and they go. Another Glacier Prison lands. Trying to get another bit of defense. It's Ching who buys some space, some time. But there's just not enough damage. And Harry isn't even here. It's a 4v5 because everyone else is bloody well dead. One final member, the Warmog's Alistair, finally falls. Everyone's down. OMG put them to the sword.
OMG take a few overextensions in the mid game from Ultra Prime and they run it through to the end. We're going to 3 games in a series, which means an awful lot, particularly to Ultra Prime. If they win this, they keep themselves in the running, but they will have to show that in a game 3. OMG close it out very, very effectively. Aatrox used to counter Rumble, and Rumble was in an unplayable state. If you survive through to first back now, then the Aatrox can very much take Rumble to task.
Might up and available anyway, so this should be relatively swiftly burst down, and the Ket will spot out what's going on here in terms of Tianjin's pathing onto those Raptors, who stopped taking a camp here to try and be around bot lane in case a dive came on through, but Hacker will land a stun on PP God, but now Niket's in a dangerous position. Gets rooted up by the Sejuani. They thought they had the prio, but no. Doggo was back in base and walking back across from base.
There is no way they thought they had prio because Angel's pushed up in mid lane. That is just an overstay from Niket.
We will hit across the control ward here. Niket jumped on, still has the flash, but no aftershock proc until just now, just goes down.
He just couldn't do anything. That it's instant flash forward from PP God. Smite comes through. Tianjin flash smiting. Tianjin has really bodied the jungle match.
Oh, he just has. Now Angel gets to level 6. A huge culling across Yukai. They lose the bot lane.
Jeez, you know, they're 4-0. They're completely fine in this group. They win this one. I think they almost certainly lock themselves into top 4 of the Nirvana group. Just gonna overstay and die.
Flash smite 627. Oh, Starry could be in a spot of bother here. Takes a lot of damage. Flashes still has the cleanse, but the slow's still coming on through. Doggo gets that kill. 3 die from Ultra Prime.
Okay, that's the start of something good because you get the kill over to the Ezreal. Starry is not going to be ahead in the game. Ultra Prime get themselves the dragons, but they're going to have to show that they can corral the map into a state where OMG don't get good value out of these objectives.
They do manage to trade that for dragon. Of course, it would be 2 dragons if Tianjin hadn't managed to steal one away.
True. Yeah.
But that has been problematic. Qingtian now in a difficult position. As he will throw down the World Ender here to get a little bit of time towards this bot lane. Should be able to claim this turret here.
Oh, if it's
first turret, potentially they teleport in and in to prevent the wave clear. That's pretty okay, I think.
So they're sharing the gold between Yuka and Qingtian. That means that they go just about even in their matchups. Niket finds that PP God again, but he just crashes down all the time. He just pulls himself away from that. No, if I love that. Qingtian now finally does have Tunnel of Merc Treads and Hex Drinker, so again, very fine in this matchup. But Harry giving him a lot of gold means that while Aatrox is now good in this matchup, how does everyone else deal with the Rumble?
Yeah, certainly very scary, and despite having the teleport, this is a Hexgate Rift. Your ability to get to fights a bit easier than you might otherwise is still pretty okay. Some of those potential extended fights decide, look, we don't want to play this hard, we'll give this one over.
Yeah, they lose enough HP that they still don't want to stick around for the fight. They didn't have themselves the Solar Flare after that fight too. I misspoke on that one. They still had that Solar Flare, and Qingtian chooses not to pop that ultimate, knows that he doesn't really want to stick around, doesn't quite have himself at, you know, the completely absurd Aatrox point of power now. But now by giving up this Herald to the 6 Grub team, OMG can find themselves a way to hit that turret. Ultra Prime giving over more ground in this early game to OMG.
Ultra Prime will be pretty swift in taking this dragon.
They will be, but they will lose mid turret. So now, OMG, do they look for an engage as they try and wrap back around towards that mid lane? So mid lane turret is going down. They have 6 Grubs. This is going down with that. I mean, the Herald is basically glorified. Cannon minute. That's a good combo.
That's a huge amount of damage on the Tianjin, doesn't quite die, but the Tianjin gets hit by that true shot barrage, doesn't fall to it though. Xintian finally falls into the backline, goes in the cap, but they just don't have enough damage. Everyone's so low. They'll land the grasping ruse. Tianjin lands a glacial prison to claim another kill. But here is Hacker trying to get another bit more damage onto Tianjin, who's having the plant slowing down, and Doggo gets that one. Into the bush goes PP. God stays alive. It's a 2 for 2 somehow.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that worked. Xintian uses the Q3 flash, but Tianjin just holds onto his flash and means that the Aatrox doesn't get the team fight value. You've got to be able to team fight well in this pick. Angel gets the tier 2 as well, so Ultra Prime walk away, getting the dragon put out on here. He doesn't get to the Hex Gate. He's going to get cancelled out by Niket. Now Angel is going to get caught out. This is now a big moment.
Went to get the tier 2, secured it, but will likely trade his life for it. Should trade his life for it. Doggo manages to get the auto as Angel played pretty well there to make that one a closer run thing than I thought it would be.
Dragon in the fight because target for Ultra Prime, because, you know, he's not necessarily the tankiest person of all time. Now Ultra Prime not going to be able to contest for this dragon. That's going to go down and away to OMG. They're using it now to get some farm in side lanes.
Well, it still feels pretty bad considering the history of it, as Yukai about to run into Angel here. See how this trade goes. Teleport's coming on through, makes this one a bit more even than I think Angel was hoping for. Rocket number 2 misses. Big one dashed away from Cheetah.
He's going to get to the Hex Gate.
He's going to get to the Hex Gate. We should be able to get out to safety. No one will be able to get over the back of the wall. But Cheetah burns teleport now.
Prime try and play around the fact that OMG don't have double teleports on their side laners, and they end up just losing out in the play. Now Hacker's overstaying for a red buff, does get it, but has to blow the flash. Ultra Prime, again in the wider map state, is just not working out well.
Can they look at Baron now with the fact that everyone's been forced back? They're on it.
I mean, there is the Hex Gates. The Hex Gates make it much harder to do this. How quickly are they burning down? What's the HP total at Ultra Prime? They do have Hacker in there, but he doesn't have flash.
There's no blast cone. He can't get in. It's gone. It's dead. He can't get there in time. It's taken away. What about the fight afterwards? Now it has to become the question for Ultra Prime. Glacier Prison is wide, but PP God with the flank from the backside gets a massive Magnet Storm. They lose the Leona. Starry has to flash away. Tianjin desperately low. Yukai in the backline trying to get a last auto. Will get 2. True Shot Barrage is huge, but Angel murders them all. Yukai gets 3, but now Angel should surely clear it up regardless. A3 killed Corky, sure, but the whole team falls at the end of it all.
OMG out macro Ultra Prime for the nth time this series. PP God's ult actually drags everyone out of the equalizer, so it ended up being not that great. PP God almost lost them the fight by denying a good equalizer, but Angel has enough damage to make it not matter. Yukai tries to clean things up with the 6 grubs. That's going to be an inhibitor down. OMG managed to out macro their way through Ultra Prime once again.
Well, that was a whole sequence of plays. We'll have a look at the replay. This Hacker burning
jungle, but a blast cone will get PP God to safety. Gold is still not massively out of distance. 5k is a lot, but it's not the end of the game because you do have a lot of squishy members from OMG. But I'm just worried about OMG, or rather Ultra Prime and their macro. They were in positions to win this game. Game 2, they were ahead of the game. Game 3, they overextended too early to really say that in the same way. Now Niket's been left alone. Everyone's just going to left him up here. And this is once again Ultra Prime overextending. Niket overextending. For someone I was so excited for at the start of summer, he has failed to recognize those promises.
And I get that they are trying to set up to contest for that dragon in 30-odd seconds, but Niket's left behind as everyone retreats from Gromp and leaves him out to dry. Ultra Prime, what is your comms like in that scenario? Because you have to feel that has to be a team call, right?
Well, either way, Ultra Prime, they've done this so regularly, it feels like it is baked into the foundations of Ultra Prime. Their overextensions have been, sadly, determining games for them, and this was a series which could have brought them back to even in series win rate, back to 3-3. It does not look like they can do that. Hacker has no flash.
Oh, Starry comes flying on in afterwards and brings down the plant. Zyra dead to rights, nothing to be done there, and the base broken again. 40 seconds on Zyra means no real way to contest for the dragon. The base is in shambles.
It isn't someone like Hacker or Yukai on big leads. It feels like they can really struggle to have the impact. I think poor in this game 3, OMG have really punished them. That Baron play, which led through to that fight for them, has led to so many turrets. And while before we were saying, oh, you know, the gold's not necessarily out of touching distance, it's getting to that point now where so much gold has come through, particularly onto the carries. The damage is so disgusting.
That last remaining inhibitor turret going down with the 6 scrubs, it disappears. The solar flare lands, it's only onto really PP God. Niket goes in and immediately regrets his choices. Dies in a blink of an eye.
Xingtian's not on the flank either. You need that Aatrox to be doing damage.
Now they've got a chunk, it's about the best they're going to get, but it means so little at this point. The last remaining inhibitor goes down with no contest because you have no engage anymore.
Yeah, no, that was the time to engage. They're just never in position to capitalize on anything. It's hard to when you're behind like this, and now they've overextended because the play's taken too long.
Yeah, Niket was trying to wait for team members to come on up, and he ends up falling down. The equalizer in the corridor is brutal. Starry stays alive at the back end of it all, and down goes Desire and the Corki as the Icathian rain continues to pour on Ultra Prime's parade. They will not find the third win they were looking for. A triple kill to Starry. It might be a donation of a quadra, but no, Harry gets that one. 5-0 at OMG. Ultra Prime sit languishing at 2-4.
Ultra Prime, they could have had this, they could have had the world, but instead they find themselves at the barrel of a gun held in the hands of OMG.
至少7、8年时间，这两个英雄就永远活跃在下路，对吧？
主要是泰坦打女坦的话，他不能先勾，他一般就是等这波还好是
会再来，我觉得绝一点可以再来。没闪了呀，紫卡这波闪现一到就死了。这波对于紫卡来讲，叫纪律了，但没完全纪律。
纪律了，第一波、第二波抢再纪律有点。
奇的雪球让这个回合多一个辅助在上半区。
主要Scout 也多了一个 TP 嘛，也踢了出来，这个中辅给很给力啊。
是中路对线也优秀。京东这边想换另一侧资源，下路女枪把线处理完，赶紧把杰拉叫过来。但是卡纳卫好像还在犹豫。LNG 选择了推中线，上路的纳尔刚刚回家补装备了，还好这一波对于京东来讲可以把潮虫吃掉。
是这一波京东视野做得很好，LNG 这边看视野有点差就算了。
而且他们也发现上路这个奎桑提对线上一轮把纳尔打回家了。那要来下半区换小龙了，对于 LNG 来说，
小龙感觉可以直接打了啊。LNG 这里也是比较求稳啊，虽然死哥有橙装，但是不想断死哥的发育节奏，让死哥怎么舒服怎么来。
吃完小龙，再顺势进杰拉的下半野区。
会一下，但 Missing 知道就在这个草里，看想着怎么进吧，等杰拉过来硬进一下。
Missing 往里走，女枪一技能开视野，一勾勾出了嘎拉的闪现。嘎拉这个闪非常的果断，如果不闪，可能会被女枪接上自己的大招。定住之后，配合上嘎拉的完美谢幕，第4枪，泰坦帮忙挡一下。但这样挡完也就意味着血量上京东没什么优势了。死哥一个强减速到 ruler， 而上面的卢仙已经在动峡谷先锋了。这个时候两边的上单扭打在一起，都有 TP 的情况下都没那么好先支援。
那京东这里也不想放啊 ，Missing 这边取消回城，想赶过来。
4打4的一个对决，来看一下杰拉一马当先顶在前面 ，Missing 的公子装也刷新好了 CD， 再往前顶，隔墙插眼看到了小航。
这河道的视野京东做得很好啊 ，LNG 这边视野有点差的情况下，看怎么处理。
但同时对于 LNG 来讲，如果拖住下面的纳尔面对奎桑提也是在猛猛推的。
那京东这边视野好的一方，感觉要直接动吧，把这个先锋给拿了。
所以 LNG 是不急的，对他们来说，这个先锋保底可以给纳尔争取1打1的机会。死哥先唱一个大，尽可能的压低血线加偷先攻。这个大招大完之后 ，LNG 让纳尔交出了 TP， 这是一个大纳尔。纳尔落地之后有没有机会推？跳上去骗出了一个闪现，峡谷先锋被杰拉给惩戒到。但是京东有命拿有命捡吗？感觉没有人能完成捡先锋的任务，谁冲进去捡都会死。
死的灵魂消失之后可以往前顶一顶了。
来看看硬往前挤 ，Scout 过来了，真的要顶着卢仙捡吗？这不是一个理智的选择。但反手一个勾到了小航。小航交出闪现，锁头锁到了嘎拉，正面奎桑迪闪现带，把斯卡特带走之后，斯卡特交出一个闪现，侧面飞机跟上来，一枪拿到了他的人头。这一波在撤退的路上 ，Missing 找到一个机会。这一轮打完，京东马上又集合到下半区的小龙附近。
下一塔拆了之后，这个小龙拉出来直接动。
这波 LNG 看起来是想让 Scout 换上路一塔了。
这时候死哥也没大招，就刷吧。
感觉刚才 LNG 还是有点想全都要，就是既想让纳尔在下面先推线，又想正面再回来接这个先锋团。
First item, but then the Malignance allows you to kind of power scale off of that. But going towards Malignance gives you a load of first strike gold early.
Does at that, and Zika will be allowed to get a hold of that tier 1. Towards the Gromp, we look briefly as Kanavi is invading on the other side to trade away some of those camps. The Karthus is still king of farming. 156 farm in 18 minutes is pretty obscene, let's be real, guys. Doing a great job there of being a bit of a nightmare. Misfortune building towards that second item.
Mega Gnar missing going over, might be able to get himself in range for an ult.
Could be in a spot of bother, I think it's fair to say. Zuka backsteps the W, but will still get all outed into that depth charge. means the USS Zucker is sunk momentarily.
I should have built another hole in that one.
Breaker?
I don't know, JDG this one should... Well, they had the Iceborne Gauntlet. That's about close to an iceberg as you can get this one. Get a Frozen Heart as well, why don't you? That's an ult coming in. Karthus ult too. Here comes Jin.
And Jin can start to throw down a curtain call from miles and miles and miles away. Teleport as well. JDG could be forced to be in a pretty tricky position. Actually, don't pull the trigger as hard as you might expect. So teleport burns.
Here we are in the games today. That's a big overstay in JDG mid lane.
Ruler now in a dangerous position. Yugao tagged up with the second shot of that curtain call as well. And Yugao being slow with no flash means he dies. Now the Mega Gnar in the back line could prove problematic as Ruler is brought down for a double kill for Scout. Look at the time, everybody. It's 22 minutes and you lost 3 members. Baron is on the cards for LNG.
LNG in the last few minutes have tried multiple times to try and force JDG into a punish overstay state. They try it in bot lane and they try and teleport in. It doesn't quite work for them. They get the flash out of Yugao. They punish it a minute later. They get themselves that Baron. That Baron will open up the side lanes for them, open up the ability for them to push JDG back into their side of the map, which they haven't necessarily been seeing as much.
Scout immediately with the wave, and a Baron buff donated to him will swiftly claim a hold of this tier 2, you would imagine. Shears coming on up, and Nautilus for missing around the corner. I don't think with way around it'll be that easy to look for anything more. The Wall of Pain comes down and Sheer eats a bit of a chunk there, of course, with only the Essence Tree, but not that much armor penetration right now. Back towards the mid lane, that tier 1 is claimed, and LNG in the blink of an eye claim a load of kills, a load of structures, and are right back in control of this game.
LNG going to push in towards top lane, going to push in towards the other side of the map, maybe get themselves an advantage.
The moment I was talking about no armor penetration, Scout's gone back and brought up a hold. Lord Dominic's regard. The burn onto missing is pretty brutal at this point. Can't quite secure the kill as Kanavi was also chunked about half HP.
Surprised that Hung didn't just fly over the wall and look for his
me
Zenith
too.
Blade. Had the Ignite, could have very easily been a kill. He's just always safe to farm from range as well with that W and the E. And one of the big things about this Jin is that he can play from outside of that MF Nautilus combo.
There comes the deadly flourish into the backline. Away goes Kanavi trying to stay alive, but still gets sniped on out. It's Zucker that secures the kill regardless.
JDG ended up spending so much time taking that dragon, and it meant that the waves were set up for this. LNG could go to the lane, say, okay, you take that dragon, and what happens with the fight afterwards? Can LNG find themselves Gnar on a flank? Can they find themselves a way to get Jin a good pick at the start of the fight too? Those are the things we want to be paying attention to. Soul not on the table. It's the sole point for JDG. Baron being rushed. Now JDG, they have missing on a flank, but he's also on vision.
Trying to find something. Solar flared out. Baron should be secured, right? Got a little bit dicey there as he was a little late on the smite, but managed to make it happen regardless. Sheer now having to back away. The Karthus ultimate comes flying on through. The Requiem is there and a curtain call afterwards, as this is a song that Swans will be singing. You begin to wonder as Sheer, wondering about the sheer audacity of standing where he was. The bullet time comes on through, but it is just a 21-gun salute to the fall of the top laner.
Yeah, so even though Weiwei is kind of contested a little bit on the smite, it's not by Kanavi. Kanavi was the slowest person there, so there was no smite steal. LNG, they walk away with the extra kills. They get 2 of them. They get themselves the Baron. And when you die against a Baron, it means you have less people to defend the ensuing Baron push. JDG, they have misplayed around LNG's Barons both times now. By overcommitting to the dragon the first time, by overcommitting to the fight in the second time, losing the kills. LNG sweeping through the base, breaking things open, speeding the game up. They're out of the turtle shell.
A wall of pain was nearly very scary. You can see what Zucker was looking for. Can't quite get close enough for a Mega Gnar
to actually threaten you. And now with a huge gold lead, JDG have been left to the wolves. Hung now caught out.
I think he might just be dead here. Takes a little while to go down. Flashes away. Does get a bit of CC before he goes down. That probably leaves missing out to dry as the second shot, never even a fourth shot.
Good into playing into hypertext. Yeah, when you've got the Merc Treads, it's not that. Weiwei flashing forwards.
Oh my days, Weiwei looking for some serious damage. It goes down for that, but Scout looking for the kill. Will kill off the side of Yugao. I was going to say Yukai because I'm still used to that one being played for the rest of the earlier series. But Zucker will hop on forward, kill off Kanavi too. And Weiwei trades his life for 2 additional kills.
Zucker has Mega Gnar. He's using most of his HP bar as well. Has the Sterix, can use that whenever he wants. Dragon. Dragons don't matter now for JDG. They took so many of them, but they have not managed to defend their base or defend these turrets.
Lose an inhibitor turret, and over we go towards that Nexus turret. So we go over to the inhibitor turrets as mid one falls. Gala and Scout swiftly delete the inhibitor afterwards of Zucker, chunking out that last remaining inhibitor turret, and it just goes down. A last inhibitor, a last Nexus turret remains between LNG and a by-the-books tutorial-style victory.
Now this is 3 inhibs down, still dead, Yugao still dead. is Kanavi. They're up in 10 seconds. I don't know if it's going to be the end of the game because they will still have a full 5 cohort. Weiwei's back up though, and he can just pull out the Carthasol. He is alive again. Carthasol coming up now.
There's the Meganar into the wall. Shears in danger, stays alive for now. The footwork shield is massive, but my lord, the AP value is huge. Down goes Kanavi, missing just about alive for a second or two longer, but it means absolutely nothing as LNG find a fight in mid lane that turns everything around in this game. They delete JDG from the Rift.
And if you were wondering whether the loss to FPX was a bit of a blip in blip. And now Zucker does lock in that cannon. Of course, now it means that looking at the engage coming through from LNG, you have Yone coming in from one side, Rakan coming from another. The cannon really helping too in regards to that. I think that Yagao and Rula are going to have a really hard time
this way, and they want to try and contest both Skull Crabs. Weiwei to throw down that swell seed, lands it onto Rula actually, but now over comes Kanavi. The stun comes on through, allows the javelin toss to land onto Weiwei. He goes down for first blood.
And JDG use the pushing lanes and leverage off it first. Another Zenith Blade comes through. Is there another stun beyond this? Missing, trying to hop back and forth. Another spear lands, but LNG, they lose out on the bot side of the map first. Weiwei gets into River, but they can't stick the landing. Spear line could get himself assassination. Doesn't land that one.
Scout will dodge out some of the piercing light there, I think. He says some of it. You can't dodge it.
Oh!
For the flash! I was musing on phrasing, and Scout just breaks Yagao's ankles.
Scout takes down Yagao, going into the bot side again. Gonna disengage at least from LNG, but we will need a close-up of that player. Scout fires out the Q knockup, flashes to the side. I don't know whether he was flashing away from damage. It looked flashy. He would have got that last auto anyway. He flashes because it looks cool.
Because it looks cool. We take those, I suppose. Comes back with Berserk Greaves. An important kill because the game is looking a little bit ugly. Weiwei's back down towards this bot lane as he's Hex Flash forwards. Weiwei's there. I'm not sure you want this one missing. He is about to be missing his HP bar, you imagine.
Yeah, missing. Had to grab this. That's a good route. That might save his life. I think that has done. By the way, extra. Oh, missing.
Missing.
What are you doing?
Missing. There's no Nidalee here. She's on the grubs, so that's another route. Hang on. Good turnaround. There's some battle dancing required. Ruler flashing on forwards. Gets one. Looking for more root pulls. Just about dodging away, but can't get any further. The grand entrance comes on through, but Ruler gets away with 2 kills.
That was the plan. Just to let Ruler do his thing. Walks away now with 2 kills from that bot side of the map.
The Krug bush, so to speak. May also contain Kruglings, as we have now learned. Could end up being a little bit dicey to manage. Weiwei is here. Should be a 3v2 dive. I'm gonna look for a little bit more. Misty coming on over. The slicing maelstrom comes on down. Huge chunk into the tower. They go, and that is a clean old dive.
And suddenly, Nidalee's early game really coming to the fore now. Kanavi 2-0 and 1, 1,000 gold up, and Weiwei.
Oh, really well. Zucker went looking for it, couldn't find it, and now grub taken. That's 4 already for JDG, but LNG are ready and willing to fight this. Weiwei didn't get a chance to use the Lilting Lullaby, so has it available. The Observer spotting out the Ruler is coming to play for this. Zucker has teleport but no ultimate. Can make this pretty tricky, and LNG go, look, we've got our grub, we can't get more.
Yeah, they need to be really careful around this. Zucker no ultimate. If you had the cannon ultimate, yeah, maybe you could teleport ult flash in with him, but it's just not going to be easy for them. I mean, and you know what, the good thing about this game is just showing that JDG, if Kanavi is online, can do unspeakable things. Kanavi is so much of the heart and soul. You know, stuff like this, it's all very important. Why would you ever ignite a brand either?
Evelyn probably shouldn't be allowed to buy Void Staff in a PG game.
True. Zucker might be finding himself in a bit of an R-rated
oh no, yeah, it's a horror story. Actually, it's a teleport behind though. Ruler now in a difficult position, can't find a good feather angle until he flashes for it. Fate Sealed knocked away by Zucker's ultimate. It's absolutely glorious. They can look for a bit more. The knockup comes on through, but everybody's dead. Weiwei kills off the Leona, but JDG, that was hints of last year's glories.
The cleanse out of that, flashes in for the huge feather pullback, and then Scout, because the rest of the team is now there because it's been delayed, can't finish off the kill either. Ruler has just done an unspeakable amount of damage there.
Scout buys a bit of time, but immediately has to pop back into Kanavi's spear. He times it so well. Now missing, looking on forward. It's a 2v3, so they have to back away. The Herald was started there briefly.
Beat him across the court. That Zucker somehow ended up dying again. But yeah,
Kanavi picked it up by the looks of the kill score. I don't know. Must have just been a top lane gank or something.
yeah, it must have been at that point. So JDG, you know, this is a team that is so typically played around Kanavi's early game, like Knight, who struggled a bit more than them. The Lucian hasn't necessarily been one which he's picked up as well compared to the Tristana and the Corki, though. So for me, there is still something to be said about, okay, while the Lucian is not the best pick for him right now, can he prove us wrong in that way, in the same way that he did with that Tristana and that Corki? LNG, they are giving that gold over to Scout in the sideline. This is exactly what they do. Scout is ahead in the individual matchup. Can they do more with that?
Ruler is going to be on vision. Gala will see it and take the opportunity to hop on forward to Yagao. I believe that was Fatboy Slim, actually, as that was a good look on in. But Ruler with a very good flash forward to avoid the Fate Seal. Now the turnaround can come on through as the exhaust is down. The teleport's coming. But there's going to be another member there. Zucker can go looking for Ruler, who's still got a cleanse. Stunned in place. Misses the feather pull. Will surely fall. But the Zenith Blade afterwards means that Zucker dies in trade. A 2-for-1. But hang on, the rest of LNG were on the roam on down. Won't look for anything more.
JDG get themselves towards this dragon. Kanavi will clear that one fairly effectively. Sheer with the Meganar still means that LG do not want to be anywhere close to Natio with the heavy CC available to them. Ruler, he's had some games on Xayah this year where he's actually not looked that great. He's picked himself into draft where he can't do that much. This is very different. He's doing an awful lot of work.
Could have been tricky if you get to queue through both of them, and especially with the cooldowns off, but either way. Exhaust was used. Gala used the ult to clear away the wave. Lilting Lullaby is not going to be allowed to get away from Ruler. Is dead. Now is Sheer in the jungle, being run down by Zucker and Scout, the two solo laners. Trading on out. The fate is indeed sealed as LNG again punished Ruler in a mid lane.
They'll want to force that again.
We want to credit Gala as well for, despite being down a couple kills, is near enough.
2021. It
Oh
has
my
been
days.
many years. Scout trying to change that.
Finds a massive angle onto Kanavi. Will surely die to the soul and bound. Another Q onto Ruler. Causes some damage, but Gala dies to the back end of it. Into the backhand goes Zucker. Trying to get onto Yagao and Ruler, who flash and cleanse away respectively. They lose the cannon, and they just can't get the damage on the AD Curry's done. Weiwei goes golden briefly, but is hung alone. The health bars are so low. Another fantastic knockup. They kill off the Leona, a flash away from Weiwei, and Ruler Yagao was so desperately low.
Weiwei's keeping his Q move speed up as well. Hung, if he gets himself another round of cooldowns, could be really a big threat here. And it does mean that LNG, with their jungler alive and Weiwei healing through, still get the dragon, but by God, LNG nearly threw that away. Ruler has his summoners as an ult up again. When Ruler has all resources available on the Xayah, he will make you pay for it. Uses the cleanse flash and the ult, but sadly for JDG, they can't get the big team fight win while using them. This is the best it looks when Ruler has all of his summoners available. He's not going to have that for the next fight. LNG walk away with a dragon, denies that soul point.
Yagao having the QSS meant he could cleanse and then get on out with that relentless pursuit, but Baron was going down all the while, and JDG claimed that on the resets.
JDG get themselves a huge advantage there now, because LNG, they didn't quite get themselves control over the top side because they were focusing on the bot side. A bit more of an official broadcast for you. Does occasionally have some issues. Largely been pretty good this year, but we have some fallbacks in place. It's back now, though, and you don't have to worry. Onto this, and it means that JDG get themselves on to Soul Point. While this is happening, one of the strengths of LNG has been about their side lanes. How do you play around your side lanes when one of them is 2,000 gold behind and 2 levels down?
With the Infinity Edge in inventory as well, this Xayah, what is a losing gracefully, is a much narrower option than it was a moment or two ago's Hung. Gets hit by the culling, will throw the quickness down onto Kanavi, and will back away for now. He's being burned down. Zucker now in danger, tries to turn around and disappears.
That's the problem.
Flash has the Zhonya's, definitely tools for to get in here. There's a lot of wards in the jungle. The LNG still willing to look and face straight down to 3,000 HP. They don't even need the jungler. They just take it regardless.
It's completely gone. And Weiwei, if he went anywhere close to that, he would have got jumped on and he would have died. Hung doesn't have the ult.
So Ruler at this point, with so much support behind him, is under very little threat here. Gala throwing out as much burst fire as they can, but the inhibitor turret is broken. Zucker chunked out just by walking around, apparently.
Angle, but they have a couple. That's why they're going now. Zucker has ult, has flash, has teleport. He's going. Scout will try and go from the front, as will Hung. It will be a pincer engage. Here comes Gala's ult.
Just the cleanse on down, missing, taken low. Yagao in a dangerous position, trying to find an angle on him. Will get absolutely eviscerated. They take one, but what about the remaining fly? Oh my days! The javelin tossed us half of Weiwei's life. Now they get a route onto Hung and Gala, who are a little bit low, but they stay alive. Inhibitor taken all the while, and Sheer could walk up and claim the other.
Hang on, was that a javelin toss or was that a crit from Ruler? Ruler. Either is kind of terrifying. That's going to be another engage in.
Oh, they get a bit of a chunk. Can't quite get the kills, though. Ruler still very high HP, missing low as the old truck laser chunks him out. Zucker looking to come pinning on in. Misses the Mega Nard as Sheer about to time on out. Missing. Gets his shield on up. Sheer still just about alive. Mininar coming on forwards. Gets a Hyperock and a Starak shield. Kanavi off to the flank. Ruler stepping on. The cannon minion! Tries to get some more. Zucker flashes out to safety. LNG just cannot get a clean flank.
And the terrifying thing about that, Ruler has everything still available. LNG were not even worthy of his flash. They weren't even worthy of his cleanse, nor his ultimate. Ruler on his Xayah skin, taking LNG to task.
They get onto Sheer, who is still pretty low, but gets a Mega Nard off. They just don't have the burst anymore. There's the Mega Nard away, and Ruler will finally unleash his royal arsenal. Gets a couple kills, will finally fall. But it doesn't matter, the damage is done and the game is still over. We're going to 3.
Going to 3, LNG will not have easy pickings versus JDG. Jingdong Gaming will take this series to 3. LNG take it apart in this one. They couldn't play towards the side lane. They couldn't play towards their big old fights. And JDG make it even. JDG, they don't have great engage. But one of the ways you get away with not having great engage is by winning lanes so hard that you snowball across the map.
That chance to back and that additional set of resources really hurting there in the extended trade. Scout forced to flash, did not fall to the solo kill, but did, as we say, get very close.
So again, one of the problems when we're working like this is that one of us has to answer the door. You need to get those early kills off. You need to get those early kills down. Scout blowing the flash is nice. Getting the early reset is good, but Jisung getting punished here.
Oh, can get the Wall of Pain. A last Q would do it, forced to flash. I wonder whether Hung might consider a flash ignite there, honestly, but Kanavi now turning around with a fantastic grasping root to the Stranglethorns afterwards. Don't quite get the kill. Hung still alive, just for now, but Ruler stepping on forwards, way after flash out. Has no mana, so can't turn around that much. Looks to go on in, can't quite get the kill. Ignite onto missing in the backline. Might get him. No, he survives. Gala backing away. The plant won't get the kill on Gala either. Kill on that.
Yeah, I want to
really work out.
Yeah, I do really want to see a replay of that because it felt like Hung, maybe there was an ult, maybe there was a chance for a kill. Very, very long cooldown and levels, of course. No chance of getting that off cooldown. It was used earlier in the trade. We'll get a replay of this. So, a lead in the jungle when you have carry versus carry like this is a win condition because one of them will be doing a lot more easy access damage than the other. Weiwei is going to be joined by scouts to dive here. Teleport coming in from Yagao.
So they want this anyway. They get the Wall of Pain down. Scout looks to get on top of Yagao. The Fate Sealed is a bit short, but it's still the Hextech Ultimatum. Yagao is a very dead man.
Sheer might join him soon as well, uses that flash. The combo misses from Gala. We talked about him being great. Well, he doesn't even need his own ult. He's that good at the champion. Haha, yeah. Zucker gets himself Demolition Tower, gets himself a plate. And yeah, they are. Kanavi really just gunning through those ones. Again, going back to a replay of what happened in this top side. 5-2, where our LNG to 5-1, play one last series, and they're looking for a dive in the bot side. That's a card assault as well. Sheer, no flash.
Yeah, that combo kind of is rough to manage. This is what happens with Karthus plus these kind of solo lanes.
Scout has revolutionized side lane macro by teleporting to the other solo lane and making sure that they get a kill and the tower as well. They have themselves really good ability to kill turrets with the Camille, and just with the 3 grubs as well. They get themselves that first turret, and they get themselves the gold there from all of the plates just before it falls. JDG, they won't be able to get all of the plates, and they'll also be late in taking that turret. The plants help, but LNG, they are very, very good at killing turrets. They are the best turret-taking team in the LPL, and they've taken in a turret from this too.
How far do they want to go? They were debating stepping on forwards just for a second there. Herald is being secured, and that actually might give them a bit more license to keep going. They've got a lot of seeds there. I don't think Sheer can stay. He's got no mega.
Oh, so, JD, hang on a second.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
This is, I thought that they wouldn't get a chance first, but JDG late in the
it's gone.
To get this as well, and JDG don't have the big engage, so they can't force through onto the enemy team.
Oh, chunked very, very low. This means this mid-tier 1 is likely dead to rights. Nothing there to be allowed to defend it. There's still an ultimate from Hungry. I don't think he wants to pop it right now.
Yeah. So, JDG, realistically, they needed an early lead. The bonus of having Sheer over Flandre is that I think that Sheer he's been a much more well-rounded player than he was at the start. He is a very good aggressive player. He might not have the goal to fight through this though. Dragon started big collapse from LNG.
Dragon goes down, that's the sole point, but what about the fight afterwards? Fate Sealed is used, and it forces a couple flashes. The Fate's call from Kalista kept missing alive, but the damage is already pretty brutal. Stranglethorn's disengaged while Zucker is down to 10% HP.
Okay, you can definitely understand, okay, they're going to play towards sidelines, play towards individual advantages. Whereas you look towards, like, the other side, when you've got, like, Kanavi and Ruler on the Zyra and the... That's a kid. Wow, okay, wow.
Good Hextech ultimatum to immune the wallet, but the flash into the wall. Sheer, just another auto would kill him. Surely goes down. That's the solo, sort of, with some assistance from that Karthus. The Locket Shield prevents the turnaround engage.
And Kanavi dies in the other side of the map as well.
Oh, yeah.
So Weber ganks effectively the entire map at the same time in the way that only Karthus jungle can. And LNG, look at those gold differences. Where are they playing for? They're playing for the side lanes. They get a kill there. They also get a kill onto JDG's strength. They have the Kalista and the Zyra with their gold advantages. They want to play grouped up fights. That's what both of those champions have really gotten their value from. Yeah, Sam, I'm thinking of the answers myself, and I'm not really coming up with many of them, and that's the problem, because you don't have that all-encompassing lead for someone like that Kalista. If the Kalista was godlike strong, you could maybe see it. Teleport coming in from the side lane from Zucker. Karthus ults.
Locket comes on down, but missing Chunk to half HP. On the other side, Shear's caught out by Zucker. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb. Top laner down. Kanavi stepping on forwards. Flashes the steal. Doesn't succeed. Goes down, and the Stranglethorns are just the gardener roses over the grave.
LNG, they pick that rose out of the ground and they put it onto their lapel because JDG are nothing but decoration around that fight. They only find themselves there spectating. It's Safari League of Legends. They try and flash in for the steal, but realistically, it was always going to be an uphill battle. They lose their jungler, they lose their top laner. Sheer caught out on the side. Sheer 0-4-0 for a player that's become so well-rounded on JDG. All he has been is a boulder rolling down the hill at the expense of JDG. Baron goes over to LNG. Dragon goes over to LNG. Ruler
takes so much damage. A flash on forwards, and the Soul Unbound. That proc, that mini Z mark, when you press E again, is just way too much.
And now JDG, who do they look for? Who do they look towards to carry this game? I think in previous games, when you had the Corki or the Tristana for Yagao, they would have carried a game. I don't think he can on this Lucian. This Lucian has not impressed me. I don't like what he's playing on this champion. Ruler on the Kalista doesn't have that early lead too, which makes it so much harder to play out this matchup too. So JDG, what have they got? It's Kanavi or Buster Scouts forcing the issue.
Gets a lot of damage down. Will be CC briefly and pops back. Yagao can look for, but a Q afterwards is actually still too deep from Scout, because Yagao has a bit of time there with the bailout to get some work done, and Zucker all the while does claim this tier 2. So a lot of resources blown to kill off Scout. That does work, as he was just that touch too far, but they'll still lose the remaining outer turrets.
More gold over towards Gala, and now suddenly no red numbers at the bottom of the screen. Well, no, the one in the middle. There's another top one.
How much longer?
I was like, oh yeah, well, it might just be the last remaining one. Haha, soon.
Well, I'm looking at that Camille. I don't think the Camille is going to be...
Oh yes, now they will look to take down the last remaining inhibitor turret in top lane.
Accurate and decisive.
JDG are zoned out of the river right now. Gala's poke is starting to land. Zucker's on the flank. Yaga, you can't walk there. It's so hard to escape the combo. Yaga's just dashed in as well. Zucker doesn't want to go straight into the 5-man people, though. LNG waiting for more poke and going over the cut salt.
Scout gets a huge chunk onto Sheer, and afterwards comes down the Requiem. Mega Inferno Bomb only really onto Sheer, who doesn't have a teleport to board. Don't! Kanavi's dead. Taken out. Hextech ultimate and make sure Sheer dies as well. Flash away from the hostile takeover. And now the fight is pretty much done. Yagao, Ruler, and Missing must somehow, in a 3v5, find a way to stop everything, but a Fate sealed, and a bailout just is not enough to keep Ruler alive. Missing chunked out. A loyalty program is looking like it's for the bargain bucket at Costco, because you're not finding a victory in the LPL, that's for sure. LNG, for the first time in so many years, in so many games, will bring down JDG. Gala will get a win against Ruler. Records are broken once more.
It has been 3 years since LNG have taken down JDG. LNG beat Top Esports. LNG beat BLG. And here, now in this third game, LNG will beat Jingdong Gaming to complete the sweep of our top 3 teams from LPL Spring.
Jingdong, the witch is dead.
Nexus falls. LNG will complete the victory lap. It has been so long since this matchup has been covered in blue rather than red.